For many centuries, the Japanese people have been celebrating the cherry blossoms, or sakura, with feasts and poetry. Hanami is the art of viewing the cherry blossom, and festivals and parties are held to honor these occasions when the cherry blossoms are in bloom. The delicate flower brings the beginning of spring and is a symbol for life itself with its beauty and fragility. In 1912, the people of Japan presented 3,000 cherry trees to the people of the United States as an act of goodwill, thus creating the beautiful annual cherry blossom display in our nation's capital. The gift was renewed in 1956 with another 3,800 trees. It was with these beautiful cherry blossoms in mind and the desire to beautify the then Hampton Lakes and Shaker Heights that the Village Garden Club was founded. In January 1930, the Village Garden Club was organized with the original 9 members also becoming the Cherry Tree Committee. The women borrowed $250 to plant 16 trees on the south side of the Upper Shaker Lakes, now known as Horseshoe Lake, in May 1930. These old movies show the planting in 1931 and again in 1932. Unfortunately, no dialogue accompanied these films, so we have no record of the exact identity of the people. The club continued to plant flowering trees at this site and some on the north side of Horseshoe Lake, as seen in the film of 1931 and again in 1932. The club held fundraisers to continue to plant flowering trees and also worked with other clubs to beautify the Shaker Lakes parkland. The second annual flower show was held in 1932 at Rue's Sunnybrook Farm. Planting of more trees in 1933. Entries of annual flower shows 1932 to 1935. While most meetings were held in the members' homes, we here see the arrival of members for a meeting at Canterbury Country Club in 1933. From the beginning, Village Garden Club became a very active club under the leadership of Mrs. George G. Marshall, our club's first president. Mrs. Marshall, with Mrs. J.R. Driver on the left, were the driving force in organizing the club. The founding members were Mrs. A.H. Bill, Mrs. C.A. Black, Mrs. R.E. Brooks, Mrs. F.E. Bruce, Mrs. A.B. Coates, Mrs. J.R. Driver, Mrs. J.E. McClellan, and Mrs. R.B. Wilson, and Mrs. C.W. Wyckoff. From the beginning, flower shows were important activities, and during the second annual flower show, held in 1932, this flower arrangement by Florence Tracy was the first prize winner. This 1937 photo from the Plain Dealers shows members planning the annual cherry tree lunch, which was a picnic on the then Hampton Lake. Pictured are Mrs. Thomas Shoup, Mrs. Gordon Sarstadt, and Mrs. Lawrence Pomeroy. Our cherry tree site is now 10 years old as the members gather around the newly dedicated stone marker. The boulder with the inscription "Cherry Tree Planting by Village Garden Club, 1930" was donated by this first committee and dedicated in 1940. A celebration was held honoring our club's 10th year anniversary as Mrs. George G. Marshall, then our first president, presided over the celebration held at the Cleveland Garden Center. Also to commemorate the 10th anniversary, a cookbook entitled Soups On was published as a fundraiser for money to purchase and maintain more trees. Village Garden Club members were all members of the Cherry Tree Committee until 1941, when the Cherry Tree Committee of 6 members was formed. As this 1954 Plain Dealer article shows, members used floral designs on their hats as well as on their tables. By 1961, 158 trees had been planted by Village Garden Club, with the original concept being honored in this article, showing President Minjet Green and Mrs. Harvey Merck admiring the flowering trees. The mid-1960s saw the fight over the Clark Freeway. Members of our club, such as Mary Elizabeth Croxton, Jean Aiken, and Catherine Fuller, were instrumental in getting the freeway project defeated. The number of trees planted had grown to 200 by 1969, when club president Catherine Fuller dedicated this flowering crab tree. Community projects have always been important activities for our club members. In this 1970s picture, club members Erica Reel, Joanne McGill, Carol Mock, Jean Baldwin, Margie Miller, and Catherine Fuller are preparing flowers for the Marine Veterans Hospital. The lady on the right is the representative of the hospital staff. Erica Reel was chairman of this committee for a number of years. This June 1986 meeting on Tussie Mussies reflects on the educational opportunities which have been important to our club. In May of 1987, the Village Garden Club was responsible for the Botanical Gardens flower show entitled Spokes of a Great Circle. Co-chairmen were Peggy Sawyer, Gladys Loth, and Nora Skillern. Maintaining the cherry tree site has always been an important project for our club, as shown during this annual spring cleanup in 1989. Pictures are Ann Gardner, Jean Hartson, Connie Coburn, Helen Schreiber, Diane Edgerton, Jean Erickson, Barbara Call, Gladys Loth, Nora Skillern, Jean Aiken, and Christine Norman, and Erica Reel. The March of Time was the theme of our September 1990 Standard Flower Show, when the horticultural was held at First Baptist Church, and floral designs were held at members' homes. Pictured are Mickey Horner, President Susan Mimkin, and co-chairman Gladys Loth and Betty Henderson. In the year 2000, our club's 70th anniversary was celebrated with a luncheon at the Hillbrook Club on September 11th. Pictured are Jean Hartson, Georgia Kurtz, Bobby Farrell, Connie Stevenson, Margie Miller, and Diane Edgerton. President Georgia Kurtz and her board organized this event. Traditions that have carried over the years include demonstrations and programs by our talented members, garden tours, and recognition of membership anniversaries. In 2004, the original stone marker was repositioned on a new base and surrounded by new plantings. In 1950, the Village Garden Club voted to dedicate a new tree at the cherry tree site to honor members who had passed away during the year, a tradition which we continue and honor today. And now in the year 2005, as we celebrate the 75 years of Village Garden Club, we celebrate the members, their activities, and the traditions which continue today. the friendships, the educational programs, the opportunity to help others in our community, and to remember our past members and all that they have meant to us. It is only fitting that these trees should be planted in dedication and memory. For the cherry blossom itself is a symbol for life, beautiful, fragile, and fleeting.